Are you looking for ways on how you can actually start reporting on your opportunities that are currently active and also the ones that you've closed out, whether it's a won or a lost opportunity, and maybe you're just not too sure how to actually run that report? Well, in today's video, we're going to show you exactly how to do that inside of your own Wealthbox CRM with a couple of examples of different types of opportunity reports that we see financial advisors build when we work with them. Hey, it's Matthew. If you're looking to build workflows that actually work and help your firm scale and grow, please feel free to grab your copy of Mastering Strategies to Avoid the RA Disaster. The link will be in the description below. And if you're serious about building workflows, processes, and automations for your firm, let's connect. Schedule an intro call with us using the link in our description below, and we'd be more than happy to get to know you and your firm. All right, now back to the video. So today we are in Wealthbox on the Opportunities tab on the left-hand side here, and we're looking at an example of a firm that is currently going through their opportunity check, and we understand from working with them that they have 3 different prospecting meetings. So to give you that example, they have an introductory meeting whenever a lead books their first call to meet with you as a financial advisor. That is considered when that individual would transfer from a lead to a prospect into your pipeline. So what we did on our side is we automated the platform itself so that once they schedule their first prospecting meeting, this introductory meeting here, they automatically get an opportunity that is launched here on the Opportunities tab. So we have a couple of them lined up here, a couple of the discovery meetings, which is that second prospecting meeting that this financial advisory firm utilizes. And then we have the final one with their planned presentation. So those are the 3 main prospecting meetings that we see financial advisors utilizing in their onboarding prospecting process. And if yours differ, by all means, go ahead and make these customizations inside of your own Wealthbox CRM so that they align with the actual prospecting meetings that you're having. A couple of other stages that we see a lot of financial advisories typically enjoy are the pending and future stages here. Now you may be thinking, when would I utilize a future versus a pending versus when do I just keep them inside of the actual pipeline here with their prospecting meeting? So the way that we see this work, and a lot of firms actually get good data out of this, is that every time the after, during, or even before the meeting itself, like this introductory meeting, they should stick in that specific stage. So to give you an example, let's say we have John Rourke. John Rourke scheduled his introductory call. We met with him, but now we're waiting for a answer back. You would assume to put him in the pending area, but what we want to do is just track who's actually in this stage of our pipeline. So depending on if he's had the meeting, if he hasn't had the meeting yet, and maybe you're in the meeting today, he should stick in this individual stage here, and he should only move forward if he's going to be having that discovery meeting. If not, let's see what we can do. So I'm going to go ahead and click on John Rourke's opportunity here, and I'll go ahead and click Options and Edit. And then we'll show you the customizations that you can utilize. So let's say in our example here, John Rourke will not be moving forward in our opportunity pipeline. So what we're going to want to do is actually kick him out of the opportunity pipeline here. And the way that we can represent that is by adding a custom field here towards the bottom called Did Not Move Forward During. Now, the reason why we want to do this is because we want to track at which stage did they not move forward in. So to give you that example again, if I know I had the introductory meeting, let's say John was not loving the conversation, maybe we weren't loving the conversation, then we would go ahead and push him and make sure, say, hey, not a good fit. Here's the reasons why they didn't want to move forward because, and then another customization that you can also utilize here is an actual box here to give an explanation or a reasoning as to why this individual prospect did not move forward. The reasons you would want to do that is because let's say every quarter you want to review the opportunities that were closed won and closed lost. So you want to see what real data am I getting out of this. Maybe you're finding that a specific team of advisors at your firm are saying every time they meet with a prospect, they're just unqualified because the investment philosophy didn't fit. And that happened for all of the prospects that they didn't want to work with. Maybe a time to look into the data and see, hey, like what's really happening here? It's a good double check too on your firm to know, hey, is everyone saying that they're missing the value from what we're providing? Are they not understanding our offering? Are they not understanding the engagement? That is something that is very important so that you can better your value and your offer to the prospects that land in your pipeline. And the last thing that we're going to want to do here, if we want to close lost this, is just go ahead and make sure that we kick John out of the stage here to lost. And then again, we're just identifying here that he did not move forward during this specific meeting. So whether he didn't schedule with us, whether he just canceled the meeting, whether it was any other scenario to where he wasn't going to actually have this discovery meeting, we're going to make sure that we're marking in our CRM in this individual opportunity that he didn't move forward during or after this introductory meeting. And then again, stage lost. But to give you another example, let's say that John actually wanted to move forward with our services. So we'll go ahead and actually move him along our pipeline here. And I'll just make sure that this isn't clicked at all. So I'll go ahead and I'll mark him as this stage, green. And let's say he's interested in one of our services, whether it's assets under management services, maybe financial planning only services, maybe comprehensive wealth management services, really depending on the services that your firm provides. You may want to track what this actual opportunity are we serving or are we trying to close in our pipeline. And then the last step here, I'll just go ahead and save that opportunity. So once this happens here, I'll click that green button at the bottom, and now we see that he's actually moving forward along our pipeline. So last example here that we'll share with you, if we know that John has made it to the plan presentation and we have actually agreed to work with each other and we've prepared paperwork, we've sent it out, we're just waiting for his signature, that would be the perfect opportunity to go ahead and put him in this pending stage. Now, if John is actually an existing client, and I know he's an existing client, what also we can do, and let's say during conversation, we hear that he's going to be selling his home, or maybe he's going to be getting an inheritance very soon, and he doesn't know what to do with it. That's a perfect time to mark it as a future opportunity so that you have some sort of substance in the background. You know that there's going to be these assets that need to be followed up on, but we would also suggest that you add a specific task with a target date that may align with this future opportunity so that you know in your CRM when you're running through your task and your workflow steps, you actually have the ability to follow up with that person. Not going to happen most times. We see a lot of firms wanting to just get the opportunity as a future opportunity, and then they think they will remember to reach out to the client. Never happens. You are not always going to be checking your opportunities tab. So we highly suggest creating the opportunity so that you know what income or what actual assets you expect to transfer over in the future, but also have that actionable item step as a task that is tagged to the client or the existing client in Wealthbox. So again, create the separate task as well as create the opportunity for the future opportunity. So next, we're actually going to show you in the Reports tab a couple of reports that we see a lot of firms build out and may be useful for you to start actually considering, and we'll show you the actual step-by-steps on what you need and how to actually build out these reports for your opportunities. So we're going to show you now the actual opportunities. Since we have established the customizations, we've actually identified what's important to track inside of your opportunities. So we're going to go and jump here to our first one, and this one is going to be for our just general opportunity pipeline, and we're going to be showing for all time, and the frequency is going to be monthly. So let's say, for example, you've been running your business from 2020 all the way up until this point. That's the information that we're going to be representing, and we're going to be showing that on a monthly occurrence. Now, in our case here on the actual opportunity, we see that we have March 2025 all the way to May 2026. So we'll show you the information that we're trying to track here. And essentially what we're doing is we're showing in this graph how many opportunities are closed wanting, closed lossing, how many of them are still in that introductory meeting phase, how many of them are in the discovery meeting phase, and how many are actually scheduled out for the future here. So to give you that example, if we know today's date is already May, or let's say it's the summer, let's June per se in 2025, and I still see that there's opportunities here for a discovery meeting, for an intro meeting, and this is for March of 2025, I know that there's some opportunities that we are not efficiently tracking, and we should actually be moving forward in our pipeline. So if we actually go month by month here, what we should see, if you're looking out to the present date, are close won, close lost, close won, close lost, because all of these other meetings should not actually be there. What we mean by that is if you see that there is an introductory meeting with a target date in April, but again, it is May, it's June, it's sometime in the, that is in the past, we know that there's opportunities in the pipeline that are either not being kicked out as closed lost or not being pushed forward along the pipeline. What we're trying to establish here in the opportunities are real opportunities that are moving forward with us. And what we can see here, March 4th, April 25th, June 11th is a good one, August 13th, November 19th, but again, we're assuming here that we are in May of 2025 or June of 2025. So these are definitely outdated. And this opportunity report is actually going to show you, hey, like where are we struggling? Are these old opportunities, things that we need to clean up? But essentially, once you get the information cleaned up, what we want to represent here are the different stages and where people are actually moving forward in your opportunity pipeline. So to give you that example, if we are actually trying to track the information of all of our opportunities that we have had in our pipeline that were just closed loss, I can now represent why or where did they not move forward. So I can show the date, show in the data here that we have about 3 that fell off during the introductory phase, or actually 4, and then I have 2 that fell off during the discovery meeting phase. Now, this is important because you're actually going to get better numbers as to your conversion rate. So if we're actually trying to track, well, how many introductory meetings did we have in total? How many of them actually converted over to discovery meeting? How many of them converted to a planned presentation meeting? And then finally, how many of them actually converted over to a client? This is where you're going to grab this information. If you completely delete the opportunity or you keep them in your pipeline, it's going to get cluttered. You're not going to see that information here. So this is why we always suggest adding this custom field here as a single select dropdown to identify where in your pipeline are these prospects not moving forward. And then again, if you have a quarterly review with your team and you want to be able to show, hey, like, why are prospects not moving forward? Great examples we have here. Was not ready to transfer assets from their current advisor. Maybe they still like working with their other advisor. In our example here, investment philosophy did not align with the prospect's expectations. Maybe they're a little bit more risky. Maybe your investment policy internally at the firm is just a little bit different from what they're looking for, and it just didn't align. We have a couple of other examples here. Maybe they did not agree to implement the plan, and they weren't really looking to take the advice that we were given. That may be a huge red flag that you find as you start working with more and more prospects and as the volume gets higher. So these are definitely things to consider, and also this can give you some good information to actually see, hey, all these people that are not qualified, where are they coming from? Where's the lead? Where is the source? Are they coming from one of our marketing sources? Maybe we shouldn't actually spend dollars there if we know that every time we get a prospect there's a high likely chance that they're not qualified. And then the other one, last one, that you may find at your firm, maybe the minimums are just extremely below, or maybe they're just not looking for financial planning services. So these are definitely things to consider, especially when you're tracking these custom fields and making sure that you actually fill them out when you close loss and opportunity out of your pipeline. Next, we're going to show you another opportunity report that you may find helpful. All right, so we are on our other opportunity here, and essentially this one is going to be more geared towards any of the opportunities that were lost. So now we're targeting specific stages within the opportunities tab to report on. So you'll see here, there should be no other opportunity other than the ones that were actually closed lost. So we can get a better idea as to how many people in this specific month did not move forward during, let's say, an intro meeting, a discovery meeting. And we have the information here. Again, you may have a lot more volume at your firm once you start tracking this data, but this is just a baseline. I wanted to show you what it actually looks like. So I'll actually go into how to run this data out of your CRM, as well as the first report that we showed you. So we'll start off at the first report here. Once it loads, all right, so we got our pipeline, and there's nothing fancy that you're really doing here. So essentially what you're doing is identifying the pipeline that you want to actually represent. If you only have one, then you'll just select that pipeline here. And then the other things that we're going to be wanting to do is actually pulling over some of these available fields, or these fields to display. So this is the example that we utilize. We utilize the name. The related to field is going to be the actual prospect that you tag to the individual opportunities, like the contact. Here we have the AUM amount. If you also track insurance or commissions or any other types of amounts, so you may want to put those into the selected fields. The assigned to is going to be typically the advisor who is in charge of closing this new business. And then we have our two custom fields here as to why they didn't move forward, and which field or which phase, which prospecting meeting did they not move forward during. And then the last thing that we're going to do here is we're going to group these fields and group by, first of all, the stages. We want to show how many of these opportunities are in the introductory meeting stage, how many of them are in the discovery meeting stage, the plan presentation, pending, the future, closed, and then the won stages. And then we're also going to be representing this by the target close date. So that's where we suggest to make sure that you're actually tracking these pipelines effectively and these opportunities, because what you want to show is actual numbers as to, hey, like if I know this is the last time we should be reaching out, or we agreed internally at the office we're not going to be working with this prospect, today's date, I'm going to put that date as the target close date. Now, if you know in the future, hey, like I should be reaching out in about 3 to 4 months for an existing client, let's say you want to give yourself about 4 to 5 months to actually close and have that expected target close date of when assets hit the account. So that is a way to actually effectively manage those target close dates. And we selected monthly, but you can by all means select quarterly, yearly, depending on the frequency that you want to represent. So this is how we actually show the opportunity report for that first one that we showed you. So once I save the template here and it loads, there we go. We have the same report that we had here. Now the other one that we wanted to show you was, if I only want to see the lost opportunities, it's the exact same thing as the other opportunity, but we're going to be using an AND function. So we want to show this pipeline and the stage lost. And that's the only stage that we want to show. So if we, on the counter side, wanted to show all of these stages except the lost, then we would change that to is not. But in our case, we'll leave it as is, and we're making sure that we select the lost stage. Hey, thanks for sticking around towards the end of the video here. We know it was a long one, but there was a lot of good information that we talked about, from actually organizing your opportunity pipeline to actually reporting on those key numbers and figures that your firm should consider. Now, if you're also having some other challenges or wondering what other types of opportunities that you should be tracking inside of your CRM and better ways to report on maybe other things within your CRM, please feel free to schedule an introductory call with us. We'd be more than happy to talk about those challenges that your firm is currently facing.